I was just playing around with the focus, just checking, doing sanity check of some of the tools on BioniChaos.com. Just need to activate the heart rate monitoring on my Garmin watch as well, so we can compare side by side. Yeah, if anyone wants to send me another heart monitor device, I can test the performance of this tool. That will be great. Activity tracking. All day pulse oximetry. This will drain the battery, wouldn't it? Battery life. Yeah, pulse ox can significantly impact battery life and will not turn on if the device battery is low. Wait, and that should be... Now when they say pulse SpO2, yeah, it's monitoring your SpO2 level. I don't think it actually does it, but well, currently it's not even turned on. Only during sleep. When if you turn it, the convoluted. Some convoluted settings there, and still didn't turn on. And let's turn it off for a sec. Activity tracking. Activity tracking like steps and sleep. It's just odd to call sleep an activity. Is it an activity? Move alert. When you've been still for too long, your device can prompt you to get moving. It's actually a bit annoying. Move IQ. When your movements match familiar patterns such as biking, riding, or using an elliptical machine, Move IQ will automatically identify the event and display it in your timeline. Okay, I can think of another event that we probably do not want to be able to detect. Interestingly, it's changing the goals. So the daily steps, if you are doing more steps, it's actually increasing the threshold. So it's, I don't know if it's gaslighting you a bit. Well, by reducing it, suggesting that you can't do it, whatever, and then it's telling you, oh. So now it's increased for me to like 12,000, whereas it's some time, couple months before ago, it was down to 8,000. Daily floors climbed, 10 floors daily. Where would I climb the 10 floors? And weekly intensity minutes. Automatic heart rate zones, moderate intensity zone 3, vigorous intensity zone 4. How about if you're just being stressed and stuff? Would that count as a intensity training? This is an interesting custom stride length. Get the most accurate distance on your activity tracker with the custom stride length. Count the number of steps it takes to cover a known distance and will calculate the stride length. Walking, get the most accurate distance. Custom. I think it's measuring pretty accurately as it is. I mean, you don't want to change it as well because it's because one of those, this is type of measurements that doesn't have to be absolute, I think. Well, because it's It doesn't have to be super accurate. It has to be, because we want to track it over time. Do you know what I mean? Shall we get a bot to explain it? Intro, yeah, everything doing live on this YouTube channel. So we're live streaming the whole development process of BioniChaos.com, and you get tools like this, the robotic arm simulators, and this one that tracks your heart rate using camera. It actually works. I've been testing it for a while. Let me know if you tested it on your own head. So yeah, go check out BioniChaos.com. Everything we do appears there eventually. Check some simulation tools. This robotic arm simulator. And this real-time face color amplification. Yeah, we did explain several times how it works, but let me know if we need another explanation. And we're actually thinking firing a bot. Which one should we use? What do we have? Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Grok. Grok is not a bad one. A Notebook LM is essentially a version of Gemini. Oh, we had that Sesame. It's called Sesame AI. Can't help it. There you go. It's still in preview, some sort of non-commercial thing, research preview. You can select Maya or Miles. Yeah, we haven't tried it in a while. I don't know if I don't think they updating it or anything. Wait, I was actually trying to find. I turned off continuous heart rate monitoring on my smartwatch to preserve battery, and now I'm trying to turn it back on. It's setting the. Yes, it kind of matters what wrist you're wearing it on. Yeah, one monitor there. Is it on? I don't know, do you need to like restart the smartwatch once or something? I don't know. We had the questionnaire for the viewers. Did you know all the tools we develop live on this channel are available on BioniChaos.com? So trying to gauge, started as a poll. And obviously, yeah, the answer is like yes and no. We'll leave it at yes, no. But essentially, if it's a yes, if you visited the site, we're more than happy to receive your feedback. If you haven't checked the site, go check it out. And then you should be able to provide your feedback. Should we write one of those like if-else diagrams? Or not? Probably not. My heart rate at the moment is on the lowish side. It's saying, oh, now I moved, so the measurement is off. Okay, settings saved successfully, and it's still, the light should come on, should come up, and it's not coming up. Do I need to sync with the device or something? I don't know. I thought when you sync, it's data from the device coming to the phone. Oh, now it's on. Okay, now should get some measurement. Well, the problem with a smartwatch
I'm Maya. What do you go by?
Can we talk about biometrics measurements from wearable devices? Are you happy to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious about that too. Biometrics from wearables is a huge topic right now. What specifically about it is on your mind?
Okay, so we're doing like heart rate monitoring. But first, can we touch on, say, if I have a smartwatch and I'm calibrating my stride length, is it really how important it is to get a correct measurement versus keeping the settings consistent so I get a better picture over time? So in other words, what I'm talking about is relative measurements versus accurate measurements.
That's a really interesting question, relative versus accurate measurements. For stride length, I think relative accuracy actually matters way more than getting it perfect from the start. If you nail the same calibration consistently, even if it's slightly off, you'll catch trends way better than if you're all over the place. The key is consistency over time, not chasing some true perfect measurement.
Okay, can you link
Are
it
you
to
working on setting up a new device?
Can you link it to heart monitoring? And can you not ask me questions? Just respond and keep your responses very short.
Consistent heart rate calibration matters less than consistent use. Consistent placement, tightness, those matter more than perfect readings. Long-term trends over accuracy.
Wait, so would you say having a higher accuracy device, like a clinical grade device, is more or less important than longer term monitoring?
Longer term, consistent monitoring wins, even with a less accurate device. Trends are key.
So you're saying we don't need medical grade devices?
Consumer wearables work fine for tracking changes within yourself.
For diagnosis as well?
No, you absolutely need medical grade for diagnosis.
By saying longer term monitoring with lower quality is better.
For trends? Yes. Not for medical purposes.
Can trends be used for medical purposes?
Only when interpreted by a doctor.
Okay, now I'm doing my heart rate monitoring and I'm getting different metrics. I'm getting about 70 to 75 on my heart rate wearable wrist worn device. However, on another device that's using rPPG, remote PPG through a web camera, I'm getting a much lower reading. Can you explain why that might be the case in one sentence?
Hey, just letting you know we've got about a minute left on this call. You can always jump back in anytime. Web camera readings are usually lower because of motion artifacts and less consistent contact than wrist-worn devices.
Sorry, it will be consistently lower, you think?
Webcams have inconsistent contact and more movement noise.
Well, I'm trying not to move, and I'm getting 63 on the webcam monitoring. I'm getting 57, 58 on my wrist one. Okay, we lost the bot. You can log in now. I don't think the login option was there before, so obviously someone is working on Sesame AI, sesame.com. Yeah, now it's actually closer to what the Garmin is measuring. Okay, it's showing me steady 63. And 50. The arm position, so we had this other tool that was actually showing PPG that the arm position matters. This is based on a paper. So before, yes, when you're sitting down, you get a better signal to noise ratio. So you're getting 8.4 decibel for standing up, 10.5 for sitting, 18 for lying down. So if I lie down, supposedly. But isn't it the arm position? Yeah, it's based on this paper. So it is at the wrist. But the wrist will matter, well, if you're lying down or not. But yes, for example, if you sit, you can have your arm on the lap, then get 13.6, or arm at heart, you get higher, more signal. So currently my arm is roughly at the heart level. It's jumping around quite a bit, so I can't get the 58, 59, 59. And what do I get? So do I have to stay? I don't know, there will be some sort of optimal position for measurement. You're getting a strong 63 and a 60 on the Garmin device. I was kind of expecting a BPM difference. So I don't know if it's we need some sort of calibration procedure, or what metrics actually affect. Oh, we're doing a low. There's a lowish FPS, but I'm more worried about the variability of the frames per second, not the low value, because I mean the heart rate is only within around 3 hertz. So you can do, so even 10 frames per second should be fine. What do you think? Can enable sonification. Interesting. This is just so whatever is so say if you're in front of a screen, kind of makes a difference what's on the screen in front of you. So if it's a dark screen or light screen, because that color will be reflecting off your face. So now I'm getting a stable 63. I can listen to it as well, so we can try and lower it. We're trying to turn it into a tool for meditation. Yeah, it's fine, because you had this like discrete, you know, the number of lines on the frequency domain. I don't know if we need more of them or something. Yeah, the noise there is probably coming through the window. The blinds are moving with the wind and it's changing the light conditions. But yeah, anyhow, if you tried it on yourself, let me know how you went. Okay, we'll turn it off for a sec because I'll be moving. Yeah, pop your comments in the chat. We can take any questions, comments, complaints. More than happy to address anything you like. Those live streams meant to be interactive. Anyhow, if you visited BioniChaos.com, do let me know. Do let me know. So it's a bit more interactive. I don't know if Sesame AI can browse the web, I'm not sure. Grok is pretty good at it. See if we can connect to the voice model. Can share links
Checking
with it as
that
well.
weird link real quick.
Checking that weird link. Weird link. Why is it weird? Why is it so weird?
That link's a neat little web app. Lets your webcam spot tiny color shifts in your face from blood pulsing underneath.
It's called Face Blood
That's right.
Webcam, but really it's Eulerian video magnification plus remote photoplethysmography. Fancy way to say non-contact heart rate tracking. Sit still, good light, no makeup. It'll overlay a green throb on your skin and guess your BPM. Super cool demo. Here's what it looks like in action. And a classic example from the original technique, pulse popping out on someone's face. Not medical grade, just educational fun. Try it if you're bored. Your heart's basically waving hello through your cheeks.
Yeah, there's an example where they show exactly the same BPM as on the smartwatch. Yes, someone answered the question, did you know that all the tools we develop live are freely available on BioniChaos.com? Someone said yes, but then the next question is, are you ready to provide any feedback, or how did you use the website? Or what specific tool did you look at, and did it work for you? Many questions. More questions than answers. More questions than answers. Human. No, let's get back to Grok. Okay, and how would you test the accuracy of a tool like that? Just keep it quick and fun.
Quick accuracy test? Easy. Let's do it.
Can you do it?
Grab a cheap finger pulse oximeter, like those little red ones that clip on your fingertip. Sit in decent light, no wiggling. Run the webcam thing for 30 seconds, then check your real BPM on the oximeter at the same time. If they're within 5 beats, it's solid for fun. If it's way off, like 20, blame shaky hands or bad lighting. Here, folks do it all the time. Super quick party trick. Your cheeks versus your finger. Who's winning?
Did you say 5 beats? That sounds like much.
Yeah, 5 beats off is actually pretty tight for a webcam trick. Most folks see 10 to 15 wiggle room. 5's like, hey, this thing's not half bad territory. Anything under that, you're basically a human lie detector for your own pulse. But hey, if it's jumping 20, just laugh it off. Lighting, movement, even your skin tone can throw it. Still fun though.
Oh, we are like getting a few. Okay, what's on the screen makes a huge difference. So I don't know, how do I monitor it? I can do the audio and just put like a wide screen because it gives more light, shines more light on my face. So turn notification, put the wide screen up. I don't know what. And I can't open my eyes to actually see it. Wait, I need to do it again. But essentially, wait, I need to be able to see it somewhere on the screen. Okay, stable 56. We're getting 55, 57 on the smartwatch, on a Garmin device. So that's within 1 beat per minute. How good is that? That's really cool. Can we use an Apple Watch for calibration? You can use any watch. I'm using a Garmin. You can use Apple, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not. It's not an actual calibration. It's just like a side-by-side comparison. So I'm not feeding the. So I'm not assuming the watch is better. So I'm assuming the watch also has a 1 plus minus 1 2 BPM error. Well, plus minus 1, which will make it 2. You know what I mean? So it could be plus 1 or minus 1, meaning 2 beats per minute error margin. And based on testing of these two, it's roughly the same. So I'm getting 1 plus minus 1 BPM, and it's different. So a true calibration will mean where I have a better device, like a clinical grade something, which I don't have. If you want to send me one, we can arrange that. But essentially, if you have a better quality device that can give you better metric. So there's like advantages and disadvantages to each. Like the smartwatch, you can wear it for longer term. But if you're shaking your hand, and we had this other thing, a simulation that is based on results from a paper showing how your position of your body will change the signal to noise ratio. So essentially will change the quality of the reading, of the recording. So if you're lying down, you get more signal in your recording. If you're standing up, it's a bit lower. If you're sitting and your arm is on the lap, or arm is down, which is what's happening most of the time, this paper, Determinants of PPG Signal Quality at the Wrist by Charlton et al., is showing that the recording is actually a significantly lower quality. I mean, this signal to noise ratio is still pretty good, it's pretty decent, but it is lower. And that's a simulation of the results from the paper. But yeah, if you have an Apple Watch, you want to compare. So it's not a calibration, it's more of a side-by-side comparison. Yeah, go for it. Like do it with, go to this link. Hold the source code your face, by the way. It doesn't matter how many times you say it, people don't believe it. Well, I mean, first of all, people don't even believe it's working at all. Once they realize it's actually working, yes, you need to stay still. So the advantage of the camera is that you don't need anything touching the body. It's remote, right? The disadvantage is that you need to control your light in the room and you have to stay still as much as possible. Well, the longer you don't move, for the better the recording is. So now that I'm moving, it's actually not able to. It's showing you the quality of the signal there, and it's actually shouldn't have been indicating good because it's fluctuating, so you don't get a good signal. You can also spoof the recording just by shaking your head. You can actually make it, but then you can make it give you a value, a BPM value. So this will be 70 something beats per minute. That is obviously not coming from the color of your head. This is just an artifact or motion artifact. And that's giving you a signal, and that, so that's future direction, should be on the page there, future direction, multi-person tracking, motion compensation using optical flow to track skin pixels even when the user moves their head. Well, I mean, first stage you should be able to detect if they're moving their head and then discard the reading, discard the recording. So this will be another something we have to add to it later on. maybe if someone actually asks for it, we will be more motivated to actually do it. But yeah, let me know if you tried it yourself, if you did compare it to an Apple Watch or not. Let me know how did that go. If you're getting, it should be, so I'm getting like within one plus minus 1 bits per minute compared to a mid-range cost Garmin device. By the way, if Garmin is watching this video and you want to send me a better smartwatch and stuff, especially ones that can do ECG as well, so we can compare those. This one is claiming to do PPG, but I don't actually think it does. But it's hard to test because it doesn't actually give you the waveform, it just gives you a reading, and I don't think the quality of that reading is great. So we're happy to review any of the tools on BioniChaos.com. If you checked it out, do let me know. And also tell me if it worked for you or not. We can actually improve it. So all the tools we develop are available freely on BioniChaos.com. Let me know if you checked it out. Okay, so ours is actually plus minus 1 bit per minute error compared to a Garmin watch.
Honestly, webcam rPPG like that, face blood thing, usually lands around plus minus 2 to 5 beats per minute off a solid Garmin. When you're chill, good light, no fidgeting. From tests I've seen, it beats some wrist sensors on average. One study had it at just 2.38 BPM error versus wearables at 3.63. But Garmin's newer Elevate stuff, it's tighter, often 1 to 3 BPM steady state, though it wobbles more during runs or if the band's loose. Webcam wins for fun demos, Garmin for real tracking. Your face doesn't sweat or move like your wrist. Here's a quick side-by-side setup folks do. And a typical error graph from rPPG papers. See how it hugs the line? If you're testing, sync 'em live. Your cheeks might surprise the watch.
Yeah, getting 63. We're getting we're actually testing it at the moment, the one I sent you earlier. And last time we checked, we got the same reading on the smartwatch and the remote PPG and the web camera.
Whoa, same rating? That's gold. Means your setup's dialed in. Most rPPG webcams hover around 2 to 6 beats off of Garmin and Calm tests, but zero error? Rare win. Recent stuff shows wearables like Garmin hit 1 to 4 BPM drift on average. Your face cam basically tied it. Probably perfect light, no shake, steady breathing. Try it again moving a bit. See if it holds. Here's a typical Bland-Altman from rPPG versus wearable studies. Dots hugging 0 means spot-on agreement, and another one showing tight scatter. Yours would look even cleaner. Keep going. Next level. Sync it live with the watch and record the match.
Yeah, it's showing some metrics of similar studies, but Yeah, there's some interesting studies out there. I'm not sure if I probably shouldn't be showing them for like copyright reasons, whatever. Yeah, the diagrams are either too simplistic or too complicated, where they're actually comparing results and things. Yeah, so let me know if you checked the website and had any questions. Yeah, open for feedback, review. Also very sensitive to what is on the screen if something is flashing in front of you. So you're kind of working better if you just have like a document, like a white screen in front of you, because it's actually adding more light onto your face. Yeah, if you visited the website BioniChaos.com and have any questions, comments, complaints, do let me know. Yeah, if you visited the website BioniChaos.com, where we deploy everything we do live on this channel, then you can provide your feedback. We can address it live, in real time, or even get one of the language models to fix something on the site if you found an error or whatever. So essentially you're acting like a co-founder, co-developer for the tools we are making. How good is that? Okay, hi guys. So I'm essentially a YouTuber, but I do run it as a startup, and I'm a technical person. So I'm a PhD in biomedical engineering, and I'm looking for a CEO, so someone who can actually take whatever I did in the last 3 years and turn it into a product. One of the examples of things that I'm doing is what's shown currently on the screen is recording heart rate just using your camera alone. So I stream and deploy regularly, so all the products are already, out there. So whichever way. So yes, we're like running, someone was before talking about like running as a charity, whatever. So yeah, we run essentially I run as a charity at the moment. So but yes, looking for a CEO, someone to turn those into products. So it's all around biomedical data. your wearables, whatever. So essentially trying to get people to take ownership of the medical data. So if you did an EEG, MRI scan or whatever, so you could essentially go and ask for the raw data from the clinic where you recorded it, and using AI and my videos, whatever, over the last 3 years, I can show you how you could process that data yourself, make your own dashboard or whatever it is you want to do with the data, but just own it and use it. Yeah, because at the moment, normally when you ask for data, you just get some images, rendered images. Then the device, whatever the Siemens MRI scanner, can export a report for a clinician. So you might, if you ask nicely, you might get access to that. But essentially what I'm trying to get people to do is ask for the raw data. So an MRI scan would be terabyte worth of data. EEG scan would be like in the, a gigabyte. So go ask for it. And now with AI, you can actually look at the data yourself or get second opinion from another clinician, or just, get whatever a Grok doc model to review the data for you. So that's the general idea. If you check the BioniChaos, the website, they do let me know. Well, you essentially will have to tell me which tool you tried and how did it work for you. Because essentially you are a co-founder, co-developer of this tool. So we need some testers. So let me know. So essentially gamifying biomedical data, doing it open source. All the code, if you are interested where the code is on the page. So any of the tools, you go F12, sources, and the code is just there.